According to statistics, 1 in 67 pregnancies will result in multiple births, and your odds increase if there are twins in your family. Identical twins, however, are rare and occur at random. But on this list, we're going to talk about regular or ordinary twins. I will be counting down the top 10 shocking twins that actually exist. So starting us off in at number 10 with the McGuire Twins. These twins were professional wrestlers, and they hold the Guinness Book of World Records for being the world's heaviest twins. Billy weighed 723 pounds and Benny weighed a staggering 745 pounds. Unfortunately, Billy died at the age of 32 years old due to a motorcycle accident, and Benny died 21 years after due to heart failure. Next up, at number 9 is Japan's oldest twins. Kin Narita and Jin Kani became national celebrities in Japan when they reached 100 years old. Despite being over 100 years old, their health and liveliness was still said to be ideal for living during the sunset years. They were born in 1892 and they lived until they were 107 and 108 years old. Now, I mean, that is incredibly impressive, and it's amazing you lived with someone for 107 years. Double Trouble comes in at number 8. These identical twins gave birth on the same day and just 2 hours apart. Ashley Nelson and her sister Amy both gave birth on New Year's Eve at the same hospital, and no, it wasn't induced or planned. This was at random. Even though these twins are best friends, they don't really do things together, and they definitely didn't plan on giving birth the same day. But you know what? It makes for a very interesting story. One sometimes you just can't believe. Number 7 brings us to the longest age difference between twins. Maria Jones Elliott's water broke when she was just 23 weeks pregnant. Doctors told her the chances of her twin surviving would be significantly low. So in order to give them the best possible chances for survival, one twin was removed from the womb and put into an incubator while the other stayed into the womb. Miraculously, both children survived. One of them was born 4 months prematurely and the other was birthed 87 days later. So one twin is 87 days older. Really odd. Next up, number 6 is the Killer Twins. Steven Spahalski had killed a man back in 1971 when he was just 16 years old, and he had been in and out of prison ever since. In 2005, he found that his identical twin Robert, who he had lost touch with over the years, confessed to committing 4 homicides that dated back in 1990. So both of these twins both had murderous tendencies, even though they lost touch with each other. So can you say they were born murderers? The Silent Twins comes in at number 5. These identical twin sisters made a childhood promise to cut themselves off from the rest of the world and only communicate with each other through a secret language. And the secret language they just created. How creepy is this? Well, it gets worse. Well, did a 5-week spree of vandalizing stuff and arson. They were just lighting things on fire. They became the youngest patients at Britain's high security psychiatric hospital, where they were detained there for 11 years. Now at number 4, we're talking about the world's most identical twins. Is this a thing? We're talking about Lucy and Annie DeCinque, who have the same cosmetic surgery, shared a job, and refuse to be separated even for more than just an hour. It's just not gonna happen for them. They begin their day by showering together, putting on matching outfits, consume the exact same amount of calories, and exercise for the same amount of time. But it gets even more stranger than that. They share the same boyfriend. I mean, is that guy the luckiest boyfriend ever? And they actually want to both marry him. So yeah, I don't know, is that pretty awesome? Biracial Twins makes its way onto this list at number 3. Lucy and Maria Aylmer are twins, but they look nothing alike. They don't even look like they're related to each other. One has straight orange hair and a fair complexion with blue eyes, and the other twin has curly hair and darker skin and brown eyes. These sisters were born looking like nothing alike because their parents came from very two different racial backgrounds. So when they tell people that they're twins, no one believes them. Number 2 takes us to some conjoined twins. Abigail and Brittany Hansel proved doctors wrong when they survived through childbirth, and they are now living in their 20s. They share one body that is fused at the torso, but they have separate vital organs. Each twin has a separate heart, stomach, spine, lungs, and spinal cord, but each twin controls half of the body, operating only one arm and one leg each. So learning how to crawl and walk was extremely difficult for them, but they're very coordinated, and they even drive, and they can play the piano. I mean, the piano is very, very hard, and then you're coordinating the whole thing. Very impressive, especially the driving part. Now at number 1, we're talking about the Jim Twins. These are 2 men who were separated at birth and adopted by separate families, who coincidentally named them both Jim. Even though they were separated at birth, they've lived a very parallel and similar life. Both of them were adopted in Ohio, and they grew up 45 miles from each other. They had childhood dogs, they both named them Toy, both were married twice, and their first wife was named Linda, hopefully not the same Linda, and their second wife was named Betty, hopefully not the same Betty because they would be marrying the same people. They both had children who they named James, they both were chain smokers, drove a Chevy, and they served as sheriffs in separate Ohio counties. I mean, how bizarre is that if this truly is a true story? Well, there you guys have it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in a new Most Amazing Top 10 video.